help was very hard to find. I didn't know who it was that I could trust. And eventually Paul did get the help that he needed, but it wasn't enough.
I do not know you, but I am your brother.
You do not know me, but I am your protector.
I will run into a burning building to save your life.
Though I do not know your name, I will take a bullet for you.
Though we've never met,
I believe in duty and sacrifice
of self.
Your family is my family.
Is my family. Your life is my duty.
What's going on, guys? It is time for another episode of Behind the Uniforms. I am honored and privileged to have you join us today. I won't do you any justice by introducing you, so I'm going to let everybody tell you who you are in a second. Guys, the way that this show works is that our guests share with us two stories, a positive story and a difficult story, something challenging that they've faced. So at the end of this particular episode, we're going to talk about an event that's coming up that we're going to make sure to launch this episode before that event. I would encourage all of you to take part in this. Today's going to be a difficult story, and you are not one in uniform yourself, but everybody in your family is, and I think that this is going to be one of the more impactful stories you've heard in a long time. So with that being said, tell everybody who you are and what brings you here.
Great. Thank you so much, Kyle. I appreciate this opportunity to come and share my story and my late husband's story. I am the widow of East Hartford police officer Paul Buchanan, who sadly passed away from suicide on March 12th, 2013. Paul was a veteran of the East Hartford Police Department for almost about 24 years, and sadly, during those years, as you can imagine, he struggled with some of the things that he had seen and was struggling with some depression and anxiety in the fall of 2012, so I had noticed some changes in him. Help was very hard to find. I didn't know who it was that I could trust, and eventually Paul did get the help that he needed, but it wasn't enough. And sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
So Paul died by suicide at the police department on March 12, 2013. And it's often a taboo subject and hard to talk about, but yet I knew that my boys and I were not going to hide behind what happened to Paul. Paul had left us 2 notes, and in one of the notes he had written, "Make my death an issue and help others that are like me." So we took that note to heart, and what we're doing is in Paul's memory to make sure that no other families go through what our family had to go through, and that no first responders end up taking their lives, because we can't have that anymore. And PTSD is real and it exists. And one day, the good part of the story is that we're making some really good changes since 2013. Believe 208 was established in Paul's memory, and we work together with CABLE, the Connecticut Alliance to Benefit Law Enforcement, which is a nonprofit organization, and we bring to light awareness, suicide awareness. We do trainings and peer support trainings. Believe 208, actually how it came to be was that one day when I was driving down the highway, and in the distance I could see a truck that grabbed my attention. I was praying and I was crying, and I wasn't sure what I actually was to do with this great message, mission that Paul had left. And I see the words "believe" written on the back of the truck. You could hardly make it out. And at that moment, I knew that's all that I had to do, was just believe. I believe that I could take this tragedy and turn it into something positive, something good in Paul's memory. I also believe that it's something that I can't do alone, that I need the help of others to make this happen. I also believe that post-traumatic stress, depression, anxiety is real, and it's out there and it exists, and we need to help those that are struggling. And I know they're struggling because they've told me so. They've written to me. I've blogged my journey and written about it on Law Enforcement Today. And we've done some really good things, though, and I'm happy to say that the suicide deaths are slowly going down. The police chiefs in Connecticut, since Paul's death, have come together and made an officer wellness committee, which is great. And awareness is happening. And I had this dream about putting together this 5K, this event to raise funds so that we could help our officers, our firefighters, EMS, and even our corrections officers and military members.
Awesome.
They're often the forgotten ones.
Absolutely.
I wasn't sure how I was going to put it all together, and some people had said to me, Trish, I don't know if people are going to come. What if you lose money? But yet I had to believe. I knew that if I put it together that they would come. And so that first year in 2014, we had 500 people that came out.
Wow. First year.
First year. And we raised $23,000 that year.
That's incredible.
And 100% of those funds go back to the officers, the first responders, 100%.
That's incredible.
Through cable, we provide peer support. We provide training to therapists and counselors so that they can understand the culture that law enforcement officers work in each and every day, and the stressors that are unique to their profession. I'm happy to say that we funded a mind, fitness, and resiliency workshop. It's a whole weekend, and we've had 35 officers and military members that come out for it. We've had it held at a retreat center in Madison and also in West Hartford. They stay for the whole weekend. We have the Uniformed Services Program from Brattleboro Retreat that comes out and provides the training for them, and all we've received are positive feedback. They take what they've learned, they bring it back to their personal life, and they bring it to their job where they share it.
That's incredible. So let me ask you this. Right now in society, we see a lot of divisiveness in America, especially when it comes to the topic of law enforcement. To the people that you see out there who are hating on our first responders, how do we bridge that gap? What message can we give to them? Because I don't think that they see this side of it. I don't think that they see the pain that families experience. You know, we saw the sergeant who was killed in Texas who was out there just trying to save lives.
Right.
What message can we give to them?
Our first responders are our helpers. They're our heroes. They're not the enemies. They're out to help us. Each and every day they go out there and they put their lives on the line. And all we want is for them to come home safely to us. And you can't even imagine the stressors that they face each and every day. And all they want to do is help. And like my husband, all he wanted to do was go out there and help everyone. But sadly, he carried the hurts and the things that he saw over the years. They have hearts behind their badges.
I'm going to ask you a difficult question, and if this is too much, we can cut it and come back to it. All across the country, there are people who are experiencing, unfortunately, what you and your family have experienced. And you mentioned what a taboo subject it is. People don't want to talk about it. I think many people feel alone in this. What message can you give to other people that have experienced this as well?
Well, I would like them to have hope. There is definitely help out there. They need to know that they are not alone, that we actually, Believe 208, the Connecticut Alliance to Benefit Law Enforcement, Safe Call Now, they're all to be trusted. Find somebody that you can trust, whether it's a peer in your department, perhaps it is a friend, a coworker, chaplains.
Sure.
I didn't even realize that there were police chaplains out there that you could call. And find a therapist that specializes in the law enforcement culture. They're there, and hopefully by bringing awareness and talking about it and providing programs, we are going to take it more and more out in the open and help our first responders that are struggling. But most importantly, they need to know that they're not alone. And I know that because they've written to me. And it can't be a taboo subject anymore, and officer wellness has to be in the forefront.
Awesome. If people want to take part, how can they find it?
Oh my gosh, please go to our Facebook page, Believe 208, Run for the Brave and Finest, and it's going to be held on Sunday, March 24th at the Knights of Columbus at 1831 Main Street in East Hartford,
Awesome.
Connecticut. And if you can't come, run wherever you are or walk in Paul's memory. If you have a loved one that has passed away from suicide, I have a memory table that I set up with. Sadly, there's several pictures, and I'd be happy to add your loved one's picture to the table so that they are not forgotten.
Awesome.
And we need to remember them and honor them because they have done their job.
Awesome. Well, we're going to help get word out there. Our partners over at Law Enforcement Today are also helping with the distribution. So hopefully we can bring a lot of eyeballs and really pay tribute to your late husband's memory. Normally I cheers everybody, but
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kyle. I appreciate
no
it
problem.
very much.
Guys, do us a favor. The only way we can get word out there is by you, all of you. So please share this episode, and God bless America.